The process of understanding is very simple. The process is, as I explained last time, I explained more in detail. We are created out of the rays within the center of the universe. In interaction and reduction in strength and division by the strength in certain strength fields, in collection of the totality of the expansion of the universe, some energies, some dynamic fields have come together. Over billions of years, these fields lead to the creation of what we call the sun. Where the plasma gathers together. The same process repeats again because the sun is the same as the energy center of the universe. Now, the heavier, the larger amount of the energy which is collected in this span of the universe, the sun that irradiates out, does the same thing again. Radiates its fields out, and in interaction with the itself, with the fields of itself, leads to creation of planet. In that process of the creation of planet, the same process happens again. In the interaction of the fields of the earth with its environment and cooling and exchange with the strength of the other things in the environment of the space of the solar system, leads to creation of man, cell, matter state. And that itself, in coming together and slowing down in certain ways, as we call, leads to another sun. We call the soul of the man. This is the truth about the life and creation of the man. But if the soul of the man can understand and absorb and be correct with his conduct, he can become the strength of the fields and carry the strength of the field of the planet which came to his creation. And if the soul can understand with the same process, can interact, can be correct, can absorb with itself the totality of the strength of what it needs, he shall become the sun. And then the same soul has the energy that it can absorb within the solar system, within the galaxy, shall become the center of the universe. Earth, we call it the rain, come from and goes back to. In the solar system, we call it planetary system, we come from the race, we become the planet, and we go back to the mother. The same thing happens with the galaxies, with the solar systems, which they get absorbed back in and they chewed up back into the universe. The life, the process of existence in the universe is the same. It doesn't matter on what exchange and what extent. So, what is the man fighting for? Why do we fight for something which has come from the point of the creation, and in the process it goes back to the creation? The soul of the man, as the energy of the earth, gives the face of the man, the face of the earth, and that process is the same for the soul of the man. Our soul, in reduction in strength, in interaction with the emotion of the field of the environment, leads to manifestation of the existence of the man. But once it's completed, does it need the face? Or can it be and becomes free from it, what we call the soul of the man, to be free and detached from its existence? Our soul is part of the process of the creation. The key to one question for man shall be in the future to be answered. As we saw the sun became the earth, and as we saw the earth became the man's soul, what would be the destiny of the soul of the man now becomes free at the point of departure from physicality. Would it become the sun for creation of another life, or many lives, or correction of lives? This shall be, and this is how it happens. When you create a soul which is not correct, which is misconduct by itself cannot give, you lead to the creation of this next cycle of creation, which has started the wrong way, the wrong strength. This is one thing the man has never understood. You become the creator of another universe, another cycle. And this is what you have to judge within the structure of the soul of the man. What would I like that cycle to be? In the physical life, we create children. In the dimension of the life of the soul of the man, what that soul will create. If man has thought up to now, that's it, my end, my point, when I die is finished, there's as much fallacy that when the sun is destroyed in any shape or form, there shall be nothing left. But we know the part of the sun becomes part of the galaxy and becomes part of new life. So shall be the soul of the man. The judgment of the man has to be according to what he sees the future his soul can conduct to be. The day of judgment is for the man, not in front of the Creator. That what my soul judges to be and what shall create. Man never understood and shall never understand till can solve this dilemma within itself. The reality is very, very, very real. And that is, as we've seen, the energy of the galaxy become the sun, the energy of the sun has become the earth, and the energy of the earth has become the soul of the man. So shall be the soul of the man, which is the energy itself, another cycle of life. How can you change when you don't understand? How can you change the process of understanding if you do not understand the process of the creation? Do we need to extend the understanding of the man, that what is the future he brings? We care about our children, what education they get, what they wear, how happy they'll be, where they sleep. Now the man has to be careful and consider, what life shall my soul create? Because those are the children of your soul. As we see, the rays of the sun has become a planet, and 7 billion children of it. 7 billion unlimited, which is growing. So the soul of the man will go through the same process. How many billions and subdivisions and sub-matter state of the physicality of the man your soul shall create? Would it be the soul of wars and conflict and forever killing? Or would it be the soul of this, let's say, solar system, which is peaceful? This is the truth and the reality about the soul of the man. First of all, as I said many times recently, we never understood that the soul of the man is within the structure of the man. And now that we understood, we understand on departure from the physicality of the man, the same process will carry on as it did for a star, a planet. And the soul of the man becomes another energy source, a higher order, which itself leads to the creation. It becomes the star, it becomes the center of the new cycle of creation. This is what the human race has to understand. The cycle actually starts from the point of death and not finishes at the point of death. In so many ways, if one understands, is as the dusts, specks of dust came together to make the earth in the solar system, so has the specks of the atoms has come to be the creator of the man. And the essence of the creation of the specks of dust on the solar system has led to the creation of the man. So shall be the fields from the soul of the man, which lead to creation of another cycle of life. What kind of life man would like to have, to be created by his soul? This is the day of judgment. This is what man never understood. Now you have to understand. You have no choice. Up to today you were not aware of it. From today you are aware of it. You are responsible for it. Your conduct has to be to elevate your soul. That in elevating the soul, what you become the creator of stands correct in the conduct of the citizens. We don't give fairy tale. This is the truth about it. As you've seen, the process does not stop with one sun. The cycle carries on. It's very interesting in how humanity now knows in fact to handle the fact. It'll take decades for man to understand, and then you understand those who become the tools of war, the tools of conflict. They have nothing to start with. They have to become the dust in the solar system of the others till the day they learn more, as they cannot create a new cycle through their own soul. This is the elevation of the soul of the man. To be part of the creation of a beautiful life for the next cycle. When you don't have it, you have to become another cell in the body of the structure of the figure for you to be just there that you can done when you could have been the soul of the man. They say, do not create fear. I give you the point of love for creation. If you cared about your children on this planet to have the best, your true children come out of your own soul in the coming time. How would you like to educate them? How would you like to be when you are in conflict with yourself and the cause of so much mayhem? This is the truth, and the man will take a long time to understand, as now that we understand the soul of the man is the operator for the creation of the future extent of the life of the man. Whatever is gathered by the soul at the end becomes his point of reference of his own creation of his own dimension. But the strangest thing is, what he creates from the soul shall become the creator of the other souls. This is the beauty about the creation, and one understands it, understands no limitation.
Witamy wszystkich na 437 warsztatach poszukiwaczy wiedzy w języku polskim. Dzisiaj mamy 4 luty 2021 rok, a tematem jest kolejny wykład poszukiwaczy wiedzy. Jest to 365 warsztat, pierwsza jego część. Tak więc bez zbędnych tutaj rozmów moich zacznijmy oglądać ten warsztat, a po warsztacie zapraszam do rozmów. Tak więc oglądamy.
My name's Rick Crammond. I'll be a host today, and we are hosting Mr. Mayran Keshe of the Keshe Foundation. And I think he's ready to go to present today's workshop. Hello, Mr. Keshe.
Good morning, Rick. Good morning, good day to you. As usual, wherever and wherever you listen to this series of knowledge seekers of Keshe Foundation Spiritual Institute. It's the 365th time we have gathered here, and collectively some over 1,500 hours of teaching, sharing knowledge in one channel. And in the process, as we always say, we have learned a lot, we taught a lot, we shared a lot. But today, I'm going to bring you to a point. Today, more or less, is beginning of the 8th year of the teaching, somewhere in that region. And the 8 is the point of maturity and point of completion. And it's believed in Chinese symbolism. It's a lucky number. Today, many of you might be shocked in how the teaching might go, but on the other hand, you should have been expecting such a process a long time ago. We've taken you through the teaching of understanding the structure of the creation through the book number 1. We took you to how you transmute matters and energies from one to another. We've taken you through the creation of a plasma universe. And in that process, we have taught you to make things, to see the effects, to see the manifestation and the presence of the fields of the creation. Today, we play a different game. Today, as many of you have listened to this intro, it says, let's play the game in a way as knowledge seekers. Many of you for years, for past 2-3 years, been searching for that elusive soul. That where is it? How is it? And how can I be in touch with it? And by the belief of many religions, there is a judgment day. Today is that judgment day. And what I call, we don't judge no one, but we judge our own soul. In so many ways, in the process of teaching, we will open all the channels that everyone present can talk, can share. Anyone disrupt, we block. You have to understand the process of the teaching today is to unify the soul of the knowledge seekers around the world. Those who are present. And with it, we start the establishment of the soul of mankind to become one. This is not a religious teaching. This is a scientific understanding of the operation of your soul and how collectively we take charge over the soul of humanity to guide, to elevate the totality, to be ready for the presence and the creation of the promised one. In so many ways, today's teaching is the threshold of you trying to see, trying to understand the strength and how much you can extend the strength of your soul. It's no time for talk, but it's for understanding of the interaction of the souls. We are not reading and going through, as is done in the One Planet, One Nation, I'm Present and the rest. We are going through the process of physical understanding of how present can be within the structure of the soul of the creation and the creator. Today is the day of judgment. Today is where you judge yourself and no one else. In trying to understand the strength of your soul, in trying to understand why you've been created and how the reason for your creation becomes manifest to you, and in what way you see to serve the creator and not the mankind. In a way, as part of the evolution of becoming part of universal community, in the universal community we only serve the creator and no one else. And in so many ways, the essence of the creation is the soul of the man. In the teaching process of today, we don't teach. We try to guide and show you how to see the manifestation of your soul. You cannot see the beauty of the sun if there is no earth to interact with it. You cannot see the manifestation of soul, your soul, and the others unless they interact with your soul. In this teaching today, we are from all over every corner of this planet. And so, if we can start the step to interact with the soul of each other, does not matter where we are. We will be aware of each other's presence. And in that process, we extend our souls to enlighten the others to show their beauty, as a proton does with the electron, than ourselves. In the process of the teaching today, we bring the practicality for man to be able to understand the gravity of his existence, his own soul. It's not going to be easy. And it's not going to happen overnight. Amongst us today are those who will bring mankind into universal community. Those are present to see the development and the growth of the humanity into the extent of entrance collectively in the direction and dimension of the universal community. It's not the test day. Is a benchmark for man to understand one's inner strength. Those of you who are present will understand why you've been around for such a long time and why you are present. And those of you who can link to the totality will understand why you've been through all these teachings. In a way, you radiate your inner strength, soul, to interact with the other. Does not matter which position on this planet or beyond, that will shine. Some of you who live in the dark side of the planet, and it's a night time to you, if you observe the skies, you shall see unimaginable lights, which this is the presence of the soul of universal community enriching your soul. Mankind enters a new era. And as we step by step grow into this understanding, we need to be able to get the confirmation of existence from our inner being, that the physicality becomes irrelevant. In so many ways, as knowledge seekers, you've been taught and you've been trained by yourself. You taught yourselves by guidelines and guidance of the teaching to be able to expect the manifestation and the presence of your soul. Your beauty can only be shown and be seen if there is another soul to interact. And then how the interaction of this soul brings you the beauty of time and the space, that's something for you to understand. We are not going into the realm of magic and whatever. We are going through a scientific experiment. We are going through a scientific test to see how far, as knowledge seekers, you have managed even to connect and to be in touch with the soul of those who you've been teaching and taught in past years. Maybe this is the way you see. You don't need anyone to confirm the existence of your soul, except you reaching and learning and understanding in the realm of time and space the existence of another soul. Confirmation of the existence of another soul confirms to you the existence of yours. In a way, what the Creator has done by creating the Eve, the electron, the one which you give totality, but you keep within of structure of the fields of your existence. Many of you over years have established friendships. Many of you in time has established relationships in understanding the knowledge. From today, we try to link, and with it, we try to create that dimension of existence for every one of you. In a way, as we used to be students, in the mornings we were taught in the classes in the university, and in the afternoon was the lab time to test what was taught in the morning works and how we can put it into practice. The morning session finishes today in so many ways. But we carry on teaching, and the afternoon session starts today. In a way, we bring you to the dimension of reality for you to confirm the existence of your soul. Many of you have tried to understand the confirmation of your existence, the confirmation of your soul to be in existence with you. We taught you to make the cup of man. We taught you to make the cycle of life. We taught you to make the cycle of planets, plants, humanity, or vertical or horizontal, or everything else you could imagine. Now you have the understanding to do. Many of you have been taught to be the sandbox. Not what you made to be the sandbox, but for you to become so humble that the fields created by your cycle of life units in interaction with your humbleness will shine. You become a shining star. And I always said, if you are arrogant to be stronger, your cups, your cycle of life cups will shine. The reason I taught you the 3 structure and then the 5 structure of liquid, the gas, the solid, the vertical and the horizontal cycle of life was for you in creating them, developing them, standing in front of them to see which one shines. Which means it shows your strength of soul in respect to the creation and the creator. And then when we taught you and will teach you how to make the cup of universe, and then how to make the cup of the creator, how would you shine? Do not forget that you're never observer of your own soul. In a way, when you stand in front, you have a measuring tool to see which one shines. Is the soul of the earth which shines? Is it the soul of your system which shines? Is it the soul of your physicality which shines? Is it of the animal or of the matter state? Then you will find into what strength you are and how will brings you the time and the space to evolve, to manifest and elevate your own soul to the dimension of the strength of the soul of the universe or the creator. In so many ways, we all shine as a soul in the presence of the life and the existence of the creator. It depends how humble we become, that even compared to his humbleness, we can still shine. Then in that process, we have matured. In so many ways, mankind starts through practicing and understanding the truth about himself, will understand the process of the creation. In so many ways, many of you who made different stacker units and you thought, what is war? I'm making gases. These gases, if they're stronger than you, we will interact. If these gases are made in connection with the human body and the strength of you, they will interact. Now it's time to create new dimensions. It's time to create a mixture of cups that in the interaction of their fields, your soul can shine. For you and those around you to confirm and to be confirmed of your own existence. In so many ways, if you see the lies on a cup of life in the soul of physicality or in a dimension of physicality, it shows how much you have attached yourself to be seen and to be the creation of physical matter. In time, many of you will learn in the process of practicing how you can switch from one to another. And then this becomes the process for all of you. to move from the dimension of the soul of the man into the dimension of physicality. In a way, the cup of life and the cycle of lives we showed you is your meter, is your engagement in the field district. But as I said in many teachings, don't stick with one copper and one zinc and some nano coating. Understand the construction of the soul of the man. Understand the construction of the soul of the physicality of the man. And then make a cup that in the interaction of the fields of its existence confirms to you the process of the creation and how you can transmute by fields from one to another. In a way, practice. Not by closing your eyes and squeezing it to see, but by opening your heart, opening your soul, that the interaction of the fields of it makes you blind. That even with the eye of the man, as you watch the cup of the soul of the man, you will see the light within that cup. Which means you have managed to reach, to communicate with another soul. Which means you have managed to create the condition with that soul. We have seen arrogance in one of the, what we call conferences. As I said before, when we ask, there is one of universal community is among us, and a foolish woman stood up. But the man of the universe, or the woman of the universe, silently confirmed his or her presence. In this process, many of you will come to understand that creatures of the universe will never confirm themselves in the physical dimension. It's for you to understand the position of the creatures of the universe. It's for your soul to elevate itself in knowledge of the creation that confirm their existence. Man to see the true travelers of the universe with their own eyes is a game that has been played for man for a long time. You will see the light. You will see the beauty of those who are amongst us as we educate ourselves to find the process of the confirmation of their existence. In a way, many of you will take and will strive to reach to the position and understanding of the totality of the creation from now on. In understanding the totality, many of you will come to abandon the attachment. And in that process, you reach to the point that you cannot be touched by the dimension of physicality in any shape or form, except if you decide, except if you try to understand the process of the creation. This is not escaping from a position. This is understanding the process of the creation and travel within the span of the universe. In so many ways, many of you have been wishing to reach that point. In a way, when you see the cup of the soul of the man lights, it shows the arrogance of you, that you think you are higher. And it means for you to lower your strength of your soul in what you take and in what you give. That in that process, the light of the soul of the man shuts off. As long as you see no light on any of your cups, it means you have not reached the level of humbleness, the level of the soul that it can receive. And if it cannot reach that point, how are you going to feed yourself in the span of universe to receive what you need that confirms, that guarantees your life in the span of universe? In a way, you are like a child who's been taught everything and left home. If you cannot feed yourself, if you cannot make what is needed for you to survive, and you wait for the mother to come to cook, it means you have not matured enough. In so many ways, this is the day of the judgment which has been promised by all the prophets of the past. Today is that judgment day. And that judgment day comes in different days and times for every one of the man created soul to find out when is their judgment day. When they see the light and when they educate themselves to understand the beauty and be able to live within it and be the source of life for another. What children would your soul create? This is the point from now on. I have taught you everything that is needed for man to elevate his soul. In a way, you always looked at the cups of life to receive from. Now, let's see which way you sit, now that you know the truth. Can you extend your soul that any of the cups of lives, any cups of universe, any cups of cycle of existence can lighten up? Then, as we say, the light in the room shines. It's very much like when you have a dimmer and you turn the dimmer and to see what light in the room with what intensity will appear, and then you know the position of the light bulb. That's where light is, that's where the bulb is, and that's what is giving out to cover. In so many ways, I have brought you to the day of your own judgment. I have brought you into the position of understanding of your own existence. In so many ways, we complete the cycle of teaching in the matter state by a completion of the cycle of understanding the strength of our own soul. And we find out that the day of judgment is upon us. In so many ways, when the soul of the man leaves the physicality of the man, be it in the womb of the mother or the age of 200, that's the time when the body and the soul and the totality of the existence of what we have taken from the universe balances out, that we can take position in wherever we need and we want. In so many ways, we can balance the books in 1 second. It can take us 100 years on this earth, or 1,000 years in another position in the universe, or billions of years in the cycle of the creation. Even the creator reaches the point of balance and manifestation and the judgment, as he judges his own conduct in what he has created, to what has led, and to what has created itself to be. In a way, what is in macro is in micro. And maybe that's why the time has come for the creator at the point of his judgment of his own creation leads to creation of new life. That the new cycle will do better. The new life will create a new dimension for the whole of the race of creator amongst the cosmos and in the universe. In so many ways, I don't need to teach you what to do. You need, or we hope, you have come to the point of maturity to know how to reach to that point. To hear, to see, to feel, to confirm the existence of another soul is the point of maturity. Many of you in the first time will be disappointed, because you're just like The little child who's been crawling on 4 legs and hands and feet and now wants to stand up. The first time he toddles and he falls. He doesn't give up. He waits and stands up again and he falls. And then he'll carry on the same. Till maybe at one point the father reaches the hand out and gives a helping hand for that who's matured to be able just about to walk next to the father or the mother, hand in hand, that gradually he can stand up on his own. Our job is to be the father and to guide you. Your job is to see how many times you fall till you can stand up, and at that point you reach the point of maturity of being able to father the new cycle. This is the truth about the existence, and the cycle never finishes. In a way, we continuously strive to be the creator and the creation at the same time, but in the process we will come to mature to understand the totality of the creation. Many of you in past 2 years cried, how can I find my soul? As I said earlier, your soul can only be found. You can understand the existence of your soul if you reach and touch the soul, another soul which can receive your existence. What you done wrong is a barrier. What you do wrong is the barrier. What you have taken the wrong road is the barrier, and everything else. In a way, from today on, not only you as listeners, but those who are within the realm of the creation will start judging themselves for every action and for every interaction. And in that process, we still will live in the dimension of physicality of life to survive every day, but our survival would not be depending on the illness or food or on clothing or a shelter or a heat. Our existence will be in the dimension of our satisfaction of our own soul and its existence and the presence in the environment of its manifestation, be it on earth or any other point on this planet or in the universe. Mankind matures to see the beauty of the creation and respects that beauty. In so many ways, today is your first toddler standing up. And in a way, we all are here collectively to give you a hand to see how you stand up for yourself and nobody else. And in so many ways, many of you will be disappointed in not being able, but do not forget, you've been through disappointment. This disappointment was the first time when you tried to stand up to walk. Now it's the second time you try to stand up to walk. The first time you tried to stand up to walk in the dimension of physicality, now is the time to stand up to walk in the dimension of the soul of the man and the creator. If it took you a long time to take the first steps to be able to walk, do not be ashamed that this time will take longer, because it needs practicing. It means what we call, in the word of the man, to be detached. To be able, by detachment, to release the fields which allows others to confirm their manifestation. In so many ways, is the time to see how mature we have become in understanding the structure of our own physicality. Do we need to wait till someone reaches their hand out to us? Or can we use our own strength and be strong enough to understand, to accept, and to believe in we will walk, but we will never walk alone. Because as long as we walk alone, there is no confirmation of our existence, as there is nothing to confirm us we exist. We become the Adam, and we look for the Eve, that by confirmation of his existence confirms us. In so many ways, mankind should understand that within the interaction of the two fields, there is a point of balance or physicality. Where would you like that physicality to manifest itself? Closer to your lover or closer to yourself? To be physical and manifest yourself alone. In a way, this is where the science meets the soul of the man. This is where, if you elevate your soul, where the soul of the man meets the soul of the creator. In a way, we have taught you enough to mature you to this point. We have given you every tools available in the realm of the creation for you to be able to become part of, but to be detached of. In so many ways, mankind has reached the promised day of judgment. Judging oneself and no one else. Judging one's conduct and nothing else. And asking yourself, what have I done wrong, or what have I not understood that I am in this position in time and life? If you see yourself suffering, understand the reason for the suffering. If you see yourself happy, understand the reason for the happiness. But who is closer to the position of the walk? The one who suffers or the one who's happy? Either way, we reach the position, but it's for us to understand the totality. In so many ways, if you go back in part of the teaching, I explained, I'll manifest for you the soul of the Christ. That for you, if you see that soul, it means you put yourself even higher than the Christ, because you have to be the light and not him. By him shining on you in his humbleness, you will shine. Which means in that point, no man will be any different than the other as we get enlightened by the light of the Creator and his Son. In so many ways, the creation of the cycle of the man and the universe is nothing but the process of understanding, to be able to be weak enough, to be humble enough, to become that dark spot, to become that principal point that it leads to the creation. Maybe some of you understand why the first paper I ever released was the creation of the black hole. Be humble enough to receive, that by receiving you can radiate to become the source of life. If you read the paper of what we call the creation of black hole, I explain the cycle of life in the light of the beauty of the Creator. In so many ways, what is called the creation of black hole is the creation of the soul of the man. It's so humble that it receives even the minutest, but it's so beautiful that with the minutest will create the suns and the galaxies. In so many ways, mankind has to become to that point to be able to manifest itself as the darkest in receiving the weakest field that the Creator can shine. This is the purpose of, this is the reason of the creation. And in so many ways, if any of you manages to see, to reach, to feel, to sense the totality of the creation within them, you shall see those who you love will shine. As the existence of you is irrelevant. These are the children of you who you feed. You are the source. You become the feeder that by them shining in interaction with the fields of you, you find yourself to be humble to receive the weakest from them. This is the beauty of the creation. Nothingness within everything and everything within nothingness. In a way, we create everything from nothing, and the creation of nothingness, everything is created in balance as is needed. In the coming minutes, the Keshe Foundation team in the background will open all your microphones. You're all free to speak. Any disruptions will block your microphone. And we don't want mayhem, but we want even the silence itself is a line of communication. In so many ways, we try to connect you with the totality of those who are across this planet with us. In so many ways, we extend the hand of the love, care, and soul to all of you in every corner of this planet. Never in the life of the man this has ever been done before, where every corner, every land, every point on this planet, someone is connecting to another at the same time. In a way, this is the first time we bring mankind to start to be that black hole that in acceptance of his humbleness, those stars in the sky will shine. In a way, we try not to shine, we try to give that the others do. And in this process, this is how in the universe, when you travel, you will confirm the existence of another soul in your presence. To be so humble that they shine, that you become the receiver of the what they do not need. You're humble to be able to receive. In so many ways, in the dimension of Christianity, the Pope kisses the foot of peasants, not the rich. And in so many ways, we submit ourselves to be open to receive from the totality of the knowledge of the universe that we do not need any education. This is how we get educated when we meet other souls from other points of the universe. In humbleness, we receive the knowledge with the light of their existence, with the fields of their existence. And in so many ways, is it the sun which shines, or is it the earth which receives the daylight? In so many ways, which one is creator of which, and which one is a confirmation of existence of which? If mankind understands the process, and those who are the travelers of the universe with us, you have matured to enter in any dimension and strength according to the strength of the soul that you're there to receive and not to give. That brings you near to the essence of the creation of the Creator. We open the channels and I stay silent. And there is no need to talk. If you feel you want to share in how and who in the group you want to reach, not necessarily by the voice, but by the soul, try to connect to each other. And try to see if we can establish one unified soul from the presence of today. And see how much you are ready to let go, that it brings you to humbleness to be able to reach and shine and feel. And let's see which one of you, which cup of lives or cycle of lives you have built in your homes will start shining. And then you understand, if it shines, you're still too arrogant. As is weaker, it shines itself. In so many ways, Your child can be that cycle of life. Your lover, your wife, your partner, and the ones who are about to create the child of the universe will come to be. As when you become the passengers of the universe, in physical dimension, you shall not be able to create, as the physicality has a dimension of demise, where in the dimension of creation of the soul shall exist those children of the soul that travel the span of the universe. This process in the coming years will become very clear to man, and there shall be one who teaches you, as carries the knowledge to share, both in the dimension of physicality and the soul of the universe. In so many ways, we don't look at the dimension of physical life of the man. We look at the dimension of the physicality of the universe. How in totality, the men of universe see each other, feel each other, exist within each other. Rick, Stanley, could you please open all the channels? And let's see how the knowledge seekers who've been taught so much will connect. And how becomes for some of them the day of judgment, the day of process of understanding the creation and their own creator. This is not a religious or trying to find a soul. This is a cycle of man trying to understand the physiology of his soul, that he can talk where the pain of the soul is, that he can create and alleviate the pain, that he can manifest itself to be a shining star on the others, as he was looking for him to shine, to receive the confirmation of his own existence. Many of you will reach to no point, but as I said, this is the first time you try to walk. All the microphones are open, and we would like all of you, through understanding of the presence, not to use the knowledge seekers communication channel, but try to use maybe your extension of your soul to confirm any of the 100 and odd which are present in this location. Maybe those of you who are on YouTube or in other channels will try the same. But try to understand one point. Today is the day of the maturity of the man. How mature in elevation of your soul you are is not judged by today. It's the beginning for mankind to become the traveler of the universe, by them to extend their souls and not their physicality. Are we in order, Rick?
We're working our way up. We're at to the G's now, and just bear with us as we go through. We're about halfway through. We have to individually open each microphone here.
Thank you very much. I remind you, any disturbances, we block your microphone. We have people from China. We have people from South America. We have people from North America. We have people from Australia and Africa. We have people from Middle East and Asia. And if all of you connect, you become that maghrab, that source that will bring the light. And which one of you will be enlightened that the others can see is the level of the humbleness, is the level of understanding yourself. In a way, is a judgment day for you and no one else. This is can you Dr. Gatwa.
Yeah, I had to mute the Gatwa there. There was too much feedback. Just because your microphone is allowed to be open doesn't mean you have to open it. So do be careful with your microphone being open and only broadcast what you wish to, let's say. Okay.
Has it completed? You're still going through, I see.
No, we're still going through.
You got to understand, you decided today to be the day of judgment if you want to join. If you have no fear of detachment, if you can exist within the dimension of the soul without physicality, would I live my loved ones or would I see more of them in a different dimension? Is the question for the man. It's a question for many of you. And to see to what extent you become detached and you become, in so many ways, understand the process of the cycle of the creation. Can you let us know when you're complete, please? Many people have opened their microphone. Can you please close your microphone unless you want to speak? We see a lot of open microphones and a lot of noise in the background. Put your microphone on silent, and unless you want to speak, you can open up.
Okay, almost there. Just bear with me another.
Thank you very much.
Few seconds.
You see, the beauty of today is we have given you the choice to be in the dimension of physicality, to come on the microphone and speak, or to stay in the dimension of the soul and interact. This is the beauty of the new communication. You choose. In so many ways, as we look across the attendees and audience, all of us, we cover every corner of this planet. And once this 118 soul becomes one, would it be enough to elevate and shine in the presence of the Creator? Would we be able to enlighten the rest of the souls, be it of the plant, of animals, or a stone to shine? It is interesting how mankind will choose, because it's your choice. In a way, even those of you who never spoke and always been present are speaking through your soul. Are you? And have you thought, I would like today to be my day of judgment. Today is the day I want to sit for the test of my own, and see the level of the strength of my soul. And am I prepared to be detached from it? Or do I still hang on to the dimension of physicality? Pardon?
It seems like Peter has something to say. Peter.
It was very hard.
In a way, we give from the right. If you look at the dimension and the structure of the earth, earth in line with the light of the, what we call the sun, always have half which is facing and shines, and always have the other side which is a cooler and dark. But in essence, life exists in all dimensions. In the physical dimension of the body of the man, the left side in physicality, as we showed last week and we all know, is controlled by the right side of the brain. And in so many ways, when you have a pain on the left side of the body of the man, is a dimension of the love and devotion to give in the soul of the man. When you find in the dimension of the illnesses, even to the right or to the left, we find the man finds pain on the what I call the left of the brain. An example of this we see in the ones who give life as mothers, how the cancer appears in their physicality, left or right. Or we see in the dimension of the physicality father, where in creation we see cancer in prostate, where he brings the balance because he has created with both. This is why in the cycle of the man, in the creation cycle of man, we see man as center and the woman decides, boy or a girl. If it's more emotional to create, it'll turn up to be a girl. And if it's to be a creator, it turns up to be the boy. It's not chromosomes which you look for. It's understanding the emotion of the soul which dictates. I'm here to give, to guarantee the evolution of the cycle of life in the dimension of the soul of the man and the emotion of his physicality. Maybe this explains to you why you have a pain on the left side of your heart. The right side of the brain, or the right side of the soul of the man, is a giver side. And it's right because we always give with the right hand. And we always receive with the left hand, because the hand of the man is a manifestation of operation of the soul of the man and not the dimension of his physicality. Maybe this unravels a lot of truth in what you understand and what you receive. In so many ways, mankind works in a two-dimensional, two opposite, but at the same time, but synchronized. In a way, your right brain, right side of the brain, where is the giver, away from the creator, but the dimension of your own existence confirms your generosity of soul. And then how you balance between the two to create that light. In some of the teachings, we explain how by holding the two and balancing the light of the correctness will shine a light in the palm of your hand or between the two hands. Maybe for the first time you understand. It's a very complicated, because man has made it complicated for himself. But in truth, it's the same. You got to understand, the creation has one dimension. You can't have the right side of the brain on top shining and the bottom dark. It has to be the same. A giver side, the side which gives, the side which is the essence of the creation that it does. The side of the brain connects with the left side, which is the emotional part. But in fact, the right hand, which is a giver part, which is the essence of the soul. The right side, the combination of the two is exactly the same. Depends how we turn towards serving the creator and the other souls, that it becomes our right side, and to what dimension we shine. And those who become in total as one will shine as one. where the inner darkness sits within the weakest to take, that it can shine on the right side or totality. In so many ways, we are creating this in the dimension of the new enhancement unit. In the new enhancement unit, there is no seat. And as I explained in one of the teachings, we have created the replication of the womb of the mother. We have created the, what we call the womb of the creator, in a way that by walking into the system, we give you the physical umbilical cord in your hands, and you can walk within the system. That you take in some fields and you give in some other fields. Then you can see how you shine or where you go dark. Where you see the system shines with you. In a way, we have brought the system of the creation within the structure of the system. If you remember, many times, I've said to you that some of you, when you go into the system, will see light coming out. Then it's for you to find the position of it. We are not creating the enhancement units for you to recover from illnesses. We are creating the enhancement units for you to understand the strength of the soul and existence of your soul within the structure of the creation. The most important for all of you is, where do you shine in the system? And is it you shining, or is it that part of the system which shines? Am I humble, or am I humbler? Or have I become humbled by my own arrogance? In so many ways, we will give you a map of your own walk in the fields for you to understand where and which strength you shine. In the structure of the universal systems, we have embedded the soul of the man in a dimension of absolute total physicality, because we needed it. It shows your humbleness and the level of understanding of your own creation, how attached you are, because the soul we took is highly physically attached. And it loves to love in the dimension of physicality, but doesn't understand the strength of the love in the dimension of the creation. It needs maturity of time, and it needs maturity of space. In so many ways, as we said, the enhancement units are flying machines. They are flying machines for those souls who can fly in the dimension of the creator. And in so many ways, many of you will bring many suffering in the physical dimension, as each one will show where you are the giver and where you have taken unjust. As I said, when you ask, you are given is your right. And anyone to interfere with what you are given will stand their own position of the strength of their soul to correct their conduct. In so many ways, thou shalt not steal, but if thou is given, anyone else touches has stolen, and he has to stand his own punishment. By word, by deed, by action, where the punishment is becoming further from the loved ones. And this is where everything works in the universe. You've got to understand the totality of the creation sits with the totality of the field forces of the universe. As I was explaining to a knowledge seeker yesterday, you are a father, you kill a man in the United States, and your son in Middle East gets killed. What have the souls got to do with each other? But the souls balance everything with each other. You do good in Africa, and your sons in China we receive pleasure of the existence. Then you understand, it's not the dimension of where you live, it's how the souls interact and how the souls understand each other. There is no hidden doors and there are no walls in the dimension of the souls of the man, as they all serve each other. And then the same is the man of the universe and the creatures of the universe. The point for many of you will come as you mature is, in what I do, would it hurt my child or my son? From now on is what I do, what would affect the others, and in most important things, how would it touch the feeling of the Creator? How do I touch with my wrongdoing the emotion of him, that with it he has to compromise for my wrongdoing? In this process, man matures. And in this process, the maturity brings love and care. And then with it, the abundance of beauty of the creation. The more you mature, the more you see, the more you can walk in the path of the Creator. As I said, we are not in the religious teaching. We are in a position where the science meets the soul of the man, and with it tries to understand the operation of the faith of the man. Where does our conduct in the path of his faith takes us to the dimension and the direction of our Creator? In a way, we become the creator of the faith, and we become the creator of the faith of our own soul. And from now on, we judge through our soul and not the dimension of physicality. It does not matter what we believe to be truth in our own dimension. We love, and we love dearly.
جناب پروفسور سلام.
سلام از آقای دکتر براپور. We have Dr. Barapur. ببخشید میخوام ترجمه کنم. We have Dr. Barapur. Does these feelings last? And to what extent these feelings will affect our decision making of tomorrow or the next? Stand to physicality from the soul. How do we see, how do we feel through our soul?
Mr. Keshe, the way I feel like I feel I can't give, because every time I feel I want to give, because I feel if I want to give, then I'm arrogant. So then I say, like, I want to feel equal. So I don't want to give if I'm arrogant. I want to become humble. So if I see myself equal to everyone else, then I feel more comfortable.
Maybe it's the process of becoming humble.
Because I don't want to give, because if I say I'm a giver, then I'm arrogant.
Well, okay. Can I ask a question from all of you? One single question. And this, you will see the reasons of it in a coming time. Has any of you, as if you go purposely in the beginning of the talks, I asked and I indicated that you are from all corners of this planet. And some of the universal community souls with us. Which one of you, or any of you, or maybe none of you, felt to be in presence of the other knowledge seekers since we started? Not in the dimension of your physicality, but in the dimension of the soul. Did any of you receive the love and presence of particular one? Someone in South America, someone in China, Did any of you got that feeling that, for example, you're in a state, but you're in presence of another knowledge seekers in China or in Australia, or even next state in the United States, or in Iran, to be in different parts? Did any of you went to that cycle of extension of departure of the soul? This is where we are striving to go. Physicality and the pains of it and how you feel in the dimension of physicality is, we all know, we've been there for millions of years. Has any of you reached to the other soul? Have any of you have managed to get the transportation, transmutation of your soul in another dimension, not necessarily this planet, maybe somewhere else? Oh,
Mr. Keshe?
Yes, go ahead.
In a way, you woke me up. I was asleep and you woke me up. And now I feel that I'm in physicality where before I was in not content, but it's different. Why? So can you put me back to sleep, please? Sorry.
How did I wake you up?
As soon as it, like, when you said the microphone, I woke up. And it's hard to explain. There was a point, and then I woke up, and you said everyone was asleep, and so I guess it's hard to say that when you keep wanting to give in physicality, there's something that holds the physicality, or you're holding back with something, whereas when you're asleep, it felt like I could give without the need to feel like feedback. It's hard to describe.
Where are you? Which state?
California.
So you're in early hours of morning.
Yes.
Was it the call of the soul which woke you up, or is it consciousness of presence?
How do you answer that question?
You got to be close to your soul. If you got woken up, so you're one of the two.
But that seems like it's this whole defining, quantifying, confirming that feels like is holding me back in physicality, and I can't seem to transition that threshold to when I'm not asleep but in the dream state, that I can let it just flow.
What is your deepest wish from the soul, not from the man?
To give, well, that's so I have someone that I specifically try to give to in physicality, and that's always been my focus. And so perhaps it would be to give to myself, but I feel like I can't do it.
What is stopping you doing it? Is your biggest problem in trying to give to yourself to be able to elevate? Is that a fear that you might be better than the others and you won't find your place? Or is it that if I give and I become better, I'll lose the one which I'm trying to give to?
it's perhaps give and leave the one that I want to help the most behind without being able to bring that person along with me.
Is the fear of the love of the creator or the love of physicality? Which one comes more? Or is the recommendation for both?
Well, when it's a child, how do you, that's the, that I can't, that's,
Do you want me to give you a gift?
well, that's what you always give me gifts. That's the thing. It's
So
how,
your wish is granted. What you wish you receive. Maybe that's why you woken up. Your soul is aware that it's about to receive what it's been searching
as the other sleeps, that's kind of where I go to, where the one that I seek to help the most when we both sleep is to communicate, because otherwise in physicality we can't communicate. It's that to be able to communicate instantaneously without the physical boundaries of
you.
the person.
What was your physical nearness to the person?
How do you want me to answer that?
Okay, I'll put it to you this way. We have a position where there are people who serve the foundation with absolute devotion and life and soul. And in a way, I made a wish and a talk last week. And this week I got the response that how to give that pleasure for the soul to interact. One of the ways, in a way, in the teachings, where we, if you come, for example, to Linz, to the exhibition center, the design center, you see we have set up a triangular of the 3 cycles of life. And you can go in between it and feel how you feel. In a way, in your home, in your bed, in your bedroom, in your sitting room, you can create the same condition. And in that process, the souls will meet. In a way, you make that fish tank in your home. And as you have made the gases and you have made the amino acid, the breath of life in that house, if he or she is present in that house, is within the amino acid created within the gases. And yours is the same. So is the plant, so is the dog, or so is the cat, because they all feel the pains of all and joys of all. And we create different amino acids in the gases which are there. Spray your room, your space with it, and give the time to grow. Give the time to find balance and peace. And in that process, you will find the manifestation of totality of what your wish has been, where the souls will bring the physicalities into obedience and into care. In so many ways, you spray the cities and you spray the towns, but many of you forgot to spray your homes, to spray the dimension of the totality. When you spray in the towns and cities and home, Don't forget, you need to link to the soul of the man. You spray the water of the gas. In your waters has to be the amino acid, which the whole humanity and all creatures of this planet for centuries have bred, and they put their emotion and their feeling in it, which you capture in the amino acid. Then you will find out the evolution of the cycle of the soul of the man with the physicality becomes much more rapid, where you can touch the physicality through the dimension of the soul. This is what I said. Many of you listen to my teachings, but you never understood the essence of it. I was explaining yesterday and in the past couple of days and week, as we are developing the enhancement units for the cycle of the life of the man, that if you look in the creation of the child in the womb of the mother, why does the child keep on moving within the womb? And why does the child in the last stage stays head down and the furthest possible from the soul of the mother? This is the way the mother matures the soul to the point she has for the dimension to be ready for passage through to the cycle of the physical life. And this is how we have to be, how we have to make our own homes, our own souls, our own physicality, the home of love to give. And with it, the souls will find balance. With it, we become that mother with the one we love to be the infant that it receives on the two poles, what we need. In the process of the creation of the soul and the physical life, we start teaching you how to create new cycle of children on this planet. In the coming months, I will teach you how to create a life with a soul, where the soul is established before the cycle of the life starts within the womb of the mother. Where when it comes that the soul of the man to be created within the womb in the first cycle, the perfect soul is already ready to take his place. In the way we create the soul of the universe within the physicality of the man, where the man will take the dimension of the soul and the physicality at the same time. The soul is the soul of the universe and the body is the body of the man. This is how we convert humanity to become a peaceful man. And that's why we said in the cycle of the new generation of life, mankind will carry the soul of the universe within it. I will teach you, because the way is done in the universe, and in a way we create the soul in a perfect condition with love and care, with acceptance, that at the point of the soul being created for the child in the womb of the mother, the soul which is already ready, made from the love of the two, will become the soul of the child to be born. There is a need for a cycle. There is a need for understanding. The way we make love to create a child, now we make love through the soul and dimension of the soul. And that soul of the child, and that child shall not be touched. And it will be perfect, and it become the symbol of the creation in the universe. In a way, a child of the universe cannot be made out of rape and abuse. The way you prepare your body to receive a child, you prepare the soul of the man to receive the soul of a child. And this shall be the process that the mankind will be separated from all the other creatures on this planet, where you share the soul before the creation of the physicality, where you nourish and perfect the soul, that when the physicality is there to take shape, and take shape in the soul dimension, the perfect soul is available for it to take its position. In a way, it takes time. It takes time to mature the physicality and the soul to be ready to receive that soul. Mankind will give a different type of birth to the children of the universe from now on, as we teach and as the process started. And in so many ways, this is the only way. When man is aware of his physicality and the soul at the same time, and he can take different dimensions and positions anywhere in the universe, depending if the soul would like to take the dimension of the travel, and the soul of physicality will travel with him. In a way, we make a twin of the two in a perfect harmony, that there is no need for the cycle of the passage through the birth tunnel for a child to be born. And in that process, child will know no pain from the day and the point of manifestation. In a way, if you are traveling the span of universe and try to manifest yourself, give your birth in the physical dimension in one position in the universe, do you have to go to the process of the birth and the pains of it? No more. And this is what we try to teach. This is what the process of the enhancement units has been set to do. In a way, as I was explaining to the knowledge seekers and the research team, we'll have enhancement units as a place where couples will come to establish the soul of their newborn before the physical dimension takes place, where we give enough and availability that becomes one soul ready to take the dimension of physicality in the time to come. Everything with the process of life will change from 21st of March. This is the point of the maturity. This is in a way the day of judgment for elevation of the gift to the soul of the man who has created such a beautiful environment of life. Without him or with his help. But in a way, the earth is a beautiful place, and in a way creates beautiful souls. It just creates the wrong physicality. And with this adjustment, we'll have perfect souls and perfect physicalities. Does not matter where the soul manifests itself, anywhere in the universe. Now, in a way, as we say in English, we are getting to the nitty-gritties of the work, to the details, that it brings the perfection. And in this process, no one shall stop, and no one can interfere with the process of the creation. In so many ways, mankind has matured enough to take the step to be created first in the dimension of the soul, then the dimension of physicality. And those who are created out of this system will stay with the dimension of physicality and the lifestyle of the man. Those who create through the soul and the physicality still stay the same as the life of the man, but they have the choice to travel the span of the universe and live in the dimension and the strength of the creator and the creation of the universe. Now you understand how important today's session is. We openly teach you how to become the man of the universe. How, with the simple steps, to take that step to become the creatures of universe and universe, where the knowledge is freely given. There is no school and there is no judge. As you take the knowledge as you need from the citizens of the universe at the point and destination, or you become continuously the judge of your own conduct, that you stay correct within the structure of your creation. As you are woken up by the call, we have woken up all the souls in the universe today with our call. Yours heard in the dimension of physicality of the soul. The others receive in the dimension of the physicality of the soul as you have. you may find peace in what has been bothering you, as you understand the elevation of the soul.
Mr. Keshe, I have a big problem.
You always have a big problem.
You see, I can't let go. I let go, but then it gets to a point, and I just want to control. The more I don't want to control, then I'm more control, and then I see the beauty on the other side, but then I'm afraid to step into it.
It's the fear of physicality.
But how can I let go?
You have to learn.
How?
You let go. You can't let go because you want to possess. It's very simple. Many of you want to know the extent of your physicality, how physically you're attached to this planet. You don't need to go very far. Just stand back, relax, and just very naturally, somebody's microphone is open, very naturally open your hands and see how the shape of your fingers stand in front of you. Does your hand go straight, or are your fingers bent forward in? Is your thumb bending into your hand or shaping outside? Is it curved totally out but it's still bending in? The way your hand curves, it shows your connection with the dimension of your physicality. Don't try to push it open to see I can open. No, that's you're fooling yourself. In a way, open your hand. And then, in so many ways, even when you open your hand in front of you, see which hand has what shape of standing. Your fingers are your lines of connection to universe, not there for you to grab things. If you have a thumb which bends all the way backwards and it opens all the way out, you are one of those who have to understand why. If your fingers hold bending in as you're holding a cup, you're too attached. Understand why. And too attached to what? In a way, as you made the cup of man and you made the cycle of cups, your fingers are that 5 cups. If you stand your hands in front of you, facing you, and look at your 5 fingers, the bottom finger is your connection to the earth. Because it doesn't need to be much short, because it's connected to earth, it's near. The second finger is the connection of your soul with the soul of physicality of this planet. Your middle finger is you. Then your index finger is the cycle of the sign of your soul in respect to the Creator. And your thumb is the direction and the way you see and you connect with the soul of the creation. It's very simple. And then you understand, when you bend your fingers in, how can you be connected to the out? You want to be out in emotion, but in fact, you're too attached to physicality. You do the same with your right and the left, and then you understand yourself. There is nobody to judge because your fingers speaks to you. This is why you have this. Every finger you have is a line of connection, is a magnetic field connection to the universe and to your soul. In a way, if you look at your 5 fingers, you see yourself. Look at the 5 fingers and look at the cycle of cup life. Is it any different? Have I taught you anything different but what is in front of you? The soul of the physicality, the soul of the man, the connection to the earth and the connection to the inertia or the soul of the physicality of this. And in the middle is your physical dimension. What I teach you is what is you that you do not understand. Look at the cup, 5 cups, and you see yourself. Do you need the 5 cups? Or look at your hand and see which one shines. Which one do you see the light of? Which one you are arrogant to on the receiving or giving, and you still think you're a giver but you're a receiver. That is a humbleness. As I was told, teach more in depth for people to understand. You made the cups for how long? For months. Now you understand the cups is you and the indication of it. Look at the cups you made, the stacker of 5, and look at your hand and see how far you are away from the truth and how far you know yourself. Then you become more or less a judge and the one who can make directions in the dimensions of elevation of your soul, or to become part of the universal community that you can transmute in the dimension of the fields of the universe and not in the dimension of physicality of the man. Now you see where the science meets the soul, and the soul meets the faith and the religion.
Mr. Keshe.
Yes.
This is Peter from Melbourne, Australia.
Yes.
I thought maybe from what you were just saying, my experience for the last 12 months might fit in. You must probably remember well when you told us and taught us that if we give from our soul and wish other souls to elevate, then this will assist those souls to elevate.
If they are recipients.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I grew up as in a Christian family and a devout Catholic, and I was told always that if I give and want to help others, then I will have to suffer like Christ and eventually die. So I felt since my birth that I'm here, and I felt I wanted to love. But then there was the contradiction, then if I love, I will die. So once you told us that, in fact, it's the opposite. The more I give, the more I will receive to give more. I've started 12 months ago to follow your advice, and it was absolutely amazing to me that I did not get sick, I did not die. Matter of fact, I could see the people I gave the wish to elevate, they actually started to elevate in front of me. I started first very small, just with one person, my wife. We're married for over 40 years. And in a matter of weeks, I could see that her whole being had changed, or maybe I have changed as well. But I felt that I could then start giving this wish to more and more people, and I did not feel like I was educated to feel weaker and eventually get sick. And I could then start doing this from my soul. And I felt when I actually gave the wish from my soul to the other soul, it was very different than giving a wish from my physicality to the other physicality to physically heal or something like that. It was a completely different feeling from soul to soul. And I could do that then eventually, and did it more and more often with people who I thought they're not wishing well to me, or were, I can't say enemies because that wouldn't be true, but something like that. And it was like an enlightening for me to see that I can actually love and give without diminishing and eventually die like Christ died. So I just thought that might, that sharing might fit into what you were saying.
You see, the interpretation of the Bible in respect to the life of Blessed Christ is totally upside down. And this, by turning it upside down, they have managed to control the man and the soul of the man and abuse the man through what he is considered to be soul. When the Christ gave his life, Mitra did the same. Actually, the life of Mitra is changed name to Christ from a woman to man. In a way, is the existence of the mother who gives from her life for a child to be born. In a way, is not a sacrifice you give, that whatever is a sacrifice that you create to be whatever. It's changed in a way that it becomes the means of control. And by man being so feeble, took it as a fear. And those who understood this, they start using religions and everything else as tools of fear. And in so many ways, this is exactly what you've done. Giving from the soul of the man, the one who receives it, if it's in need of it, will find a new position. And with it, you have to find a new position, as you said, because it's very correct. If you go to book number 1, I have explained the same thing of loving and giving and sharing in respect to, we call it in a matter state, the weight and gravity and magnetic fields and mass. There's no difference if you really understand it. When you interact, you create field strength, and interaction of your new field strength with one of them, with the gravity or the magnetical again, it creates the mass or the weight. So you are the creator of it. You are the initiator of it. And in so many ways, with one interaction, it doesn't stop. When you create, you release that fields interacting with me. Now is 2 fields interacting back with you. And at the same time, with a person whose soul and the fields have been received. And the interaction of those 2 makes a new direction and dimension. This is how souls are created and how positions are created in the dimension of the soul. So when you give, you actually create multiple of moves. Creation. The gravitational magnetic field and the magnetical magnetic field of the earth, in the interaction with each other, they create imbalance the surface of this planet. And this become, with its extraction of the fields, to create totality, inertia. But if you look at it in the interaction of those fields with the fields of the totality balance, it creates your weight and mass, which is always the same in one and changes with the other in respect to totality. In so many ways, you find by elevating the others, as you said, point that even you interacts again with the interaction of the interaction you created, which means you have to show a reflection or reaction to it. It's not just you have elevated or you have changed your partner, but the interaction has changed you because you changed position. And that's the beauty of it.
That's right. I felt that I could become more and more myself, that the person I wanted to be. And I started then to extend it to animals around us too. We live in a rural area, so the animals, there are plenty animals around us, and I extended those wishes to the animals, and more animals started coming.
They still have a soul, and they can see the beauty. If you have used ganses in the garden, you see your garden receives more animals than the other places.
Yeah,
because
that's right.
they feel it.
Yeah, they started sitting on the discharge of the water from the house, and the ganses were flowing in that direction, and the animals started sitting on those areas where the water was dispersed underground with the ganses.
The thing is, the more you give, the more you receive. And I'm sure you heard me many times. We have Wang Lin, the head of the Keshe Foundation for China, and one of the two members, heads of the foundation. When some 2 years ago, we were invited by the officials of Chinese structure to Inner Mongolia, and accidentally they took us to an experimental field, and all I had was a small amount of GANs in my bag. I said to them, we start in this place. And they started with the wheat, the rice, and 2 or 3 other things. And after 27 days, because the harvest was already 100 days old, it had under 30, 40 days to be mature, to be harvested, they start watering the wheat and the rice. And the wheat matured in that 27 days, a week earlier than the others, or 2 weeks earlier than the ones which had not used ganses. And the problem we received was the farmers looking after this were calling us and saying, this is unbelievable, they are getting so much birds coming to eat the crop. So much of the crop has been eaten, and this is no good because they lose their harvest this way. And are losing a lot of money because this harvest then was given to the farmers who participated, whatever the structure was. And the strangest thing is, when the harvest came and they weighed and they measured, we doubled the harvest compared to the side which was not given ganses. And the strangest thing what I told them is, can you imagine if you would not given the share of the animals to them, you would have had 4 or 5 times the harvest. By giving, we increased the harvest, and by it, it brought the animals which fed the animals, and still we had more to give to humanity.
Beautiful.
This is what we've seen, and many farmers report this who use the gas technology. And it's the same with the soul of them. The animals feel it, the animals come. If you put a pot of water and a gas water with the right combination with your animals at home, you'll find out they always drink from the one with the gas in it. And make sure you have a drop of amino acid that they connect to the soul of them. Because that amino acid, when you created the gas in the house, is being made by the breath of the dog too, or the breath of the cat. So it has a connection to it. It's me who's elevating me.
Thank you.
You're welcome. As I said, we come from all over corners of this planet. from Australia, from Arizona, from New York, from Tehran. Keshe Foundation is a universal organization through the soul of the man. And we don't belong to a nation, we belong to the planet and the universe. Because we have touched the soul of the man, and his body needs to elevate itself. Any others?
Perhaps we, okay, go ahead.
Yes. Hello, is Salomea, is peace here. I am the citizen of the world. I am the citizen of the universe. And
Mamy koniec tłumaczenia na dzisiaj. Myślę, że dużo było materiału, dużo informacji, dużo ciekawostek takich, które dają dużo do myślenia. Jeśli ktoś chciałby krótko coś dodać, to zapraszam. No dobrze, jeśli nie ma nikogo, to na dzisiaj skończymy. To były 437 warsztaty poszukiwaczy wiedzy w języku polskim z czwartku, 4 lutego 2021 roku. Więc dziękuję za uwagę i zapraszam na niedzielę na drugą część tego warsztatu. Życzę dobrej nocy i do usłyszenia.
It's time for change.
Nadszedł czas zmiany, przejścia do prawdziwego działania wszechświata.
And it's time to
I
understand
nadszedł czas, aby zrozumieć, że używamy stanu materii,
to reach
by osiągnąć poziom zrozumienia duszy człowieka.
of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe
Teraz rozumiesz, być może, dlaczego Kreator
Creator has sent his messengers
wysłał
to say
swoich posłańców
whatever you have
w imię tego, co miałeś.
is that
To
they
oni przynoszą
bring
uszy,
the ears, that it can be
aby
used
można było ich
when the
użyć,
time of the
gdy
Messiah
nadejdzie czas
comes.
Mesjasza.
They can teach the soul and the
Mogę
message
nauczyć duszę i przesłanie,
to oppose.
nie by się
But
przeciwstawiać,
by them
ale poprzez ich
understanding
zrozumienie
through those who have
przez
become
tych,
messiahs,
którzy stali się
to give from their
Mesjaszami,
souls to these
aby
to
dawać ze
elevate.
swoich dusz, aby ich elewować.
The job is made
Zadanie
easy.
stało się łatwe.
The school is there.
Szkoła
The
jest tutaj
students
i
are
uczniowie są tutaj w oddaniu.
Then there won't be any
Wtedy nie
fight
będzie żadnej
between
walki
what they call the
między tym, co
Muslim
nazywają
Christians,
muzułmanami a
the
chrześcijanami.
Lamb and the lion
Baranek i lew będą jeść i spać w tym samym gnieździe.
the Christians and
Chrześcijanie i
Muslims
muzułmanie
will speak
będą
and pray
spać
in
i
the
modlić się w
mosque
meczecie,
and the same
w tym samym
church
kościele,
in the name of
w imię
their
ich
souls,
dusz,
not in the
nie w
name
imię
of
religii,
that is used
które są
in
używane do
such
tworzenia tak wielu konfliktów,
for the benefit of
dla korzyści
those
tych,
who are
którzy
the
byli
hyperactive
hiperaktywnymi dziećmi.
The time has come.
Nadszedł
The time
czas,
of change is here.
czas zmian jest tutaj.
And as I said,
I jak powiedziałem, moje życzenie jest moim rozkazem.
if it's your wish
Jeśli
to
pragniesz
see
ujrzeć pokój, droga pokoju jest wyłożona bardzo wyraźnie.
the soul
To dusza
of
świadomości
collective
zbiorowej.
awareness by
Poprzez
giving
dawanie
or
stworzy
creating
tą
that
pozycję
position of
zmiany.
change. No
Nic
other.
innego.
There is no
W duszy
pen
człowieka
in the
nie ma
soul of
długopisu.
man. And I'm
Jestem
sure
pewien,
once
że
you
po
go
wejściu
to
do
universe,
społeczności uniwersalnej
you will
nigdy nie
never see
zobaczysz
anything
niczego
written,
zapisanego,
but
ale
the
równowagę
balance of
pól
the
duszy
universe is full of
egzystencji.
the existence. Try to be humble
Staraj
enough
się być na tyle pokornym,
not to become
aby nie
arrogant
stać się
in the
aroganckim w
power
mocy,
that you have understood and
którą
you
zrozumiałeś i posiadłeś.
otherwise you'll fall
Inaczej
in the same
wpadniesz w tą
path
samą
of
ścieżkę
church.
kościoła i meczetu.
This
To
is
jest to, co
what we
obiecaliśmy
promised.
i to właśnie dostarczyliśmy.
This is what we have delivered. We have to understand
Musimy
the
zrozumieć
operation of the
działanie
soul,
duszy
and we have to
i
understand
musimy
the soul of
zrozumieć,
the man
że
is
dusza
a
człowieka
star
jest gwiazdą
in the
w kosmosie
cosmos
wszechświata.
of the universe. If we
Jeśli
compare
porównamy
the soul of the man
duszę człowieka i tak wielu
and
nas,
many of us,
7 miliardów w jednym zbiorze,
population, Earth is like a galaxy.
Ziemia jest jak galaktyka
So many
z tak
stars.
wieloma gwiazdami.
When we look in the depth
Kiedy
of the
patrzymy w
universe,
głąb
we see
wszechświata,
galaxies with
widzimy
hundreds of
galaktyki z
billions of
setkami
stars.
milionów gwiazd.
So is the
Podobnie
planet
jest z
Earth.
planetą Ziemią.
Carries
Niesie 7
billion
miliardów
beautiful
pięknych
stars
gwiazd,
which are the
które
soul
są
of the
duszą
man.
człowieka.
Carries
Niesie z
within
sobą
it
duszę
so
tak
many
wielu trylionów
trillions
zwierząt,
of
roślin
animals,
i
plants,
wszystkiego innego.
reptiles. So
Jeśli
if you
więc
look,
patrzą ci,
when someone who does
którzy
not
nie
see
widzą
the
fizyczności
physicality
Ziemi
of the earth and its
i jej
content,
zawartości,
what do
co
they see?
widzą?
They see a
Widzą
galaxy.
galaktykę z wielką
So
ilością
many beautiful
pięknych,
lights
świecących
shining.
świateł,
Each one
każda według
according to
swojej
its
siły,
strength. Each
każda
one
zgodnie ze
according
swoją
to their
pozycją.
position. An infant,
Niemowlę ma piękną duszę,
so
podobnie
has
jak staruszek.
to those
Dla
who
tych
do not see the
niefizycznych,
physical
którzy nie widzą
dimension of
fizycznego
this planet,
wymiaru tej planety,
but they see
ale
the
widzą
strength of
siłę
the
pola,
fields, we are a
jesteśmy
cluster
gromadami
of
gwiazd.
stars. The human race,
Ludzka rasa, każda
every
pojedyncza
single
dusza,
soul, no one
nikt
from
z
a
daleka nie
distance
widzi.
sees, that's
To
the
jest
soul
dusza
of the
rybaka,
fisherman, that's the
to
soul
jest
of the
dusza kosmologa,
cosmologist, that's
to
the
jest
soul of
dusza
the president.
prezydenta.
They all shine.
Wszystkie świecą bez względu na fizyczność.
This is
To
the
jest
magic.
magia.
This is what the
Oto co
new
nowa
science
nauka
has
musi
to
przynieść
bring to man.
człowiekowi.
When
Kiedy
we
patrzymy
look
przez
to
naszą
our
duszę,
soul, we see nothing but
widzimy tylko gwiazdy w innych duszach.
And
I
this
to
is
jest
the
przełom.
break. This
To
is
jest
the
zrozumienie.
understanding. This is
Na
what
tym właśnie
all
polegają
these
te
teachings
wszystkie
are about.
nauki.
Coming to
Dojście do
mature, to
dojrzałości
the next
następnego
level,
poziomu,
to understand
aby zrozumieć daleki
space.
kosmos.
The
Wszechświat jest
universe
ostrygą
is the
dla tych
oyster
dusz,
for
które
those souls
służą.
who serve. Then
Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy do wejścia w kosmos. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy, aby stać się częścią uniwersalnej społeczności, która została obiecana. Nigdy nie obiecywałem wam nieba. Zawsze obiecywałem wam elewację człowieka, aby przyłączył się do rodziny. A teraz macie klucz. To wy musicie otworzyć drzwi, aby zrozumieć, że mogę elewować duszę tych ludzi lub milionów innych dusz. że fizyczne życie na tej planecie zmieni się. Wtedy jestem godny bycia częścią społeczności uniwersalnej, by być, aby służyć, aby się rozwijać, by być tam, aby być częścią, że w cyklu życia wszechświata staje się w byciu częścią, staje się częścią totalności. Kiedy człowiek osiągnie ten punkt, pojawi się nowy wymiar w sile duszy człowieka, który jest poza wyobrażeniem zrozumienia życia fizycznego. To jest brama do otwarcia nowego życia w nowym wymiarze, co jest poza wyobrażeniem tego, co mogliście nazwać nowym początkiem, nowym cyklem, gdzie ten cykl niesie ze sobą źródło stworzenia życia we wszechświecie i unikosie. To jest elewacja duszy, aby służyć. Stała się kluczem. Nie tron życia fizycznego. Czas jest odpowiedni, nadszedł czas, aby człowiek przeszedł przez ten proces.